Zeidy was a child of the Holocaust without actually being in the Holocaust. His childhood was pretty much ruined, except for the fact that he stayed with his parents and he lived poorly, but they lived. He learned how to become self-sufficient at a very young age. He went driving with a driver. He went from store to store. He had a route. But he was so young, he didn't even have a driver's license. So he went with his driver from city to city all the time. And he made a living as a boy. That gave him the ability to do anything. The advantage of that for me was he told me I could also do anything. And he believed in me. He believed in me. And when someone believes in you, you try to fulfill their wishes. Aside from him being my friend, he was my mentor. I wanted to be like him. Unselfish, outgoing, which I never became, generous, loving, loyal to his family, loyal to his children. I wanted a marriage like he had. I wanted a life like he had with Bobbi. I was lucky that he found my Zivik for me. He liked my husband almost as much as I did. And he let it be known. That gives a young girl like me confidence that everything's going to be great. He just left me too early. He told me I can do anything, but he left me too early. He couldn't do everything. He couldn't stay. But if he could have, he would have been proud of what we turned out to be. I was proud of him, and he was proud of us. Please, Dad, continue to smile down on us. Continue to be the role model that you were. A little bit of work never hurt anybody. A lot of work never hurt anybody. He believed squeeze a little bit more in. He was a self-made man. He came from nowhere, no education, and he educated himself. He learned how to learn. I remember when he made his first siyum on a Masechta in Shas. Boy, was he proud of himself, and boy, were we proud of him. This is a man who never went to yeshiva. This is a man who taught all of us Be'er Tefillah. We sat with him, and he went over the davening with us. He davened like a bird. Davened. Your heart would open up when he davened. That, of course, is the purpose. But he was succeeding at it. He was successful at it. The last few years, he couldn't see. But it didn't matter. You gave him a word or two, and he knew the rest of the pasuk, because that's what he had been doing his whole life. I said Tehillim with him more than once in the hospital. I was tripping over the words, and he was correcting me. I had the sitter in front of me, and he did not. He was a source of pride to us. I hope we were a source of pride to him, too. I know you're in a good place, Daddy. I wish you were still with me, but I know you're in a good place. I'm taking care of Mommy just like you told me to. I'm not doing as good a job as you would do, but I promise I'm doing the best I can. I love you still every day of my life. Day doesn't go by that I don't think of you, love you, and say, what would Daddy do? What would Daddy do? I hope I'm doing it right. The neshama should have an aliyah, and you should be a meilitz yosher to all of us.